Hello, hello, welcome back to more Let's Play Harvest Moon. We are continuing through winter, and we're almost actually through it. Give it about 2 episodes, and we'll be on the final 2 months, the home stretch. I guess if you can count the last 2 months as a home stretch, I guess personally I would say that the last month would be the home stretch. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's get started. You stay there, Tally. It's rather chilly outside. Speaking of, we got nailed with some snow today. But then it started warming up and started melting, so I wasn't complaining. Look at that little baby calf. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, game. You never cease to amaze me sometimes. I'm much more of a person who, I don't know, with my gaming habits. Like, they, I enjoy a game. Yeah, I've never been big into shooters. I've never really liked them. I mean, I do. I mean, some of them I do like. I like playing Halo and some of the other ones, but they were never my thing. Basically, I just never got into them. Like some people, I enjoy a little bit longer game. Maybe that requires a little bit of a little bit of strategy here or there. With some with a good story. That's why I've always liked RPGs for the most part. Um, you know, they're not all don't require a great deal of strategy, especially once you've played through them and you kind of learn the ins and outs of them. Um, you can really make a hard game pretty easy. That's that's how it is. It's kind of like the Dragon Quest series. They are pretty tough if you're not familiar with the mechanics of how the series kind of works, some of the spells, because that is actually a series where the debuffing your enemies and other spells are quite useful. Final Fantasies sometimes are useful, but a lot of times they're not. Good example would be like, well, I guess in the first Dragon Quest game, very simple, but you would run into a lot of enemies who could cast really nasty spells on you that would put you to sleep. Yeah, I agree. Actually, tomorrow was Sunday for me. Well, if you're watching this, today is Sunday. Technically, if you're... Never mind. Anyway, and so, you would use spell... You would have, like, a spell called Stop Spell, which would stop them from casting spells. I mean, pretty basic, I mean, when you think about it now, it's like, oh, man, they have basically a silence spell. Ooh. Well, yeah, true, it's nothing like earth-shattering now, but then... Get back in there. But having, spells like that actually worked was, really cool. I know in the original Final Fantasy, I mean, did they have debuff spells? I mean, I know they had buff spells like haste, they called it, I think they called it fast then or something like that. But I think for the most part, there really weren't any debuff spells. Final Fantasy 4 or 2 on the Super Nintendo, that had some. More useful in the remakes, like the DS remake, especially the DS remake, because of how harder it is. And I think in the PSP remake, I hear that it's a little more useful too, because it's still a little bit. It's not as hard as the DS, but it's harder than the original because with Final Fantasy IV, when it came out to America, I believe, yeah, yeah, what had happened is went out in Japan first, and when they brought it to America, they made it a little bit easier. They took away a lot of like spell abilities that characters had, like Cecil had a dark wave attack, Rosa had this prey move, and things like that. They also took out a lot of items. Like when you start the game, Cecil uses an item in battle that basically casts like Lightning 2 or Fire 2 in battle. And you'd never see that ever again if you're playing the Super Nintendo version. But in every other version, those are just like, an item, that you can use in battle to cast those spells. Just like in other Final Fantasies. So a lot of stuff like that was actually taken out and stuff was made easier. I think you can buy ethers right off the bat, which I don't think you could buy ethers in that game until maybe a really late game. So they made it a lot easier when they brought it out to America. which was rather unfortunate. I really loved that game too. That was the first RPG that I played through by myself. I remember watching my brother play Final Fantasy, the original, and um, Dragon Quest. I remember watching him. He got to the Dragon Lord at the end, and the Dragon Lord offers to let you join him in his evil conquest of the world. And my brother, for some reason, hit yes. And what happens in the original Dragon Quest game, if you do that, is your game locks up. It freezes. Not because of a glitch, but because that's what's supposed to happen. The game basically shuts off and says, "You're a moron, restart." And the only place to save in that game, in the original, was back at the very first castle. And so he lost all that progress that he had. And I thought it was kind of funny. And I forgot to feed my wife. Oh well. You know, you can kind of forget for a few days feeding your wife. It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I'm sure nothing bad will ever come from that. Why are my tracks so far away? Whatever. Are you gonna pop that kid out? Speaking of popping a kid out, we went over to the Dollar Theater last night, and I took my girlfriend and watched the new Twilight movie. I will reserve my judgment. Hooray! Tomorrow's the Star Night Festival. Sweet. So let's get through this day fast. Hey, do you got anything to say? The spa. Yeah, that's where she was. I had to guess that last time and got incredibly lucky. Oh, I was like, right, I'm not going down. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, we know. I wonder where that guy lives. He never said anything. I feel like these cows probably shouldn't be producing milk anymore. Maybe they're producing sour cream. Ugh. Oh, look at that baby, it's sure. Can I pick it up? No, wait, no, can I talk to it? That's right, Cain, yeah, from Final Fantasy IV. I really wish I actually had a PSP for the Final Fantasy IV remake they did on it. That's how a remake should be done. They basically took the original graphics, they spruced them up a lot, like really high quality 2D graphics, especially in the battles. Tweak the translation a little bit so it's a little more accurate, I think. And yeah, then they added the After Years, which was made for the cell phone, made for cell phones. No. Yeah, that was made for cell phones originally in Japan, and then it was brought to America on the Wii. But the graphics, I guess they weren't very good. It still looked like a cell phone game pretty much. Well, they completely redid the graphics then for the After Years, which is kind of like a sequel to the game. It's Final Fantasy IV. It's not as long, but still pretty fun from what I understand. Then they also added something new called the Interlude, which is basically a bridge between Final Fantasy IV and the After Years, so you can kind of see what's going on. So I think that... Oh, that's right, we can't do anything on the festival. We want to go to the spa, I think. I hope so. Oh, okay, now I can move around. Rheumatism recovery? Stamina? What the heck does that mean? What about you? What do you guys say? Okay. Oh, they mean over here. Whee! Hey, babe. I'm assuming... Yeah, that's Anne. You can't really tell because she completely lost her uniqueness. And she beat me to bed. Well, good night, Bob. Anything you want to say about last night, huh? Nah, nothing. Yeah, the Star Night Festival, all that's good for is getting the person that you are, working towards, getting their hearts higher, their stars higher. That's all they're good. That's all that's good for. I think it gives it like how it works is a point system. When I was doing some more information looking on it, and once you reach a certain amount of points, you get that's when you get a new star or not a star, a heart with them. So basically, if you choose the right person for the Star Night Festival, you gain like 30, like points, which is a pretty significant amount. But for me, we're already good. We have a wife. You can actually, I think she can divorce you if you stop like paying attention to her and yeah, stop doing stuff with her. Basically, if you go out of your way to make sure you lose points, that she'll divorce you. Hmm. We don't want that though. I love this little cluster that they have to make for me. If you guys want fed, you should probably get out of my way. It's kind of bad. I feed the chickens better than I feed my wife. Oh my god, get out of here. There we go. And there's your food for the day. Anything else you want to say? Or you can keep saying the same thing to me. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I want to watch. Thank you for watching this episode of Let's Play Harvest Moon. Next time, will we get through winter? Probably. So I will catch you guys next time.